Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kid Lee, and this is the TOR report for the week of February 15th, 2014. In this week's news, as part of the Galactic Giving promotion, all subscribers will receive the new Lucky 77 Swoop Speeder. When summoned, the mount has a chance to hit the jackpot, kicking off a fun animation that tosses holographic coins everywhere. To that I say, meh. And let's go ahead and move on to some dev chat. This week's dev chat is going to be focused on the 2.7 class changes. As announced by Eric Musco, Game Update 2.7 marks the end of Season 1 ranked arenas. You will notice quite a few of these changes are targeted around PvP. This is also not the full list, as it sounds like more changes will be coming. I'm only going to read off one of the class counterparts as I do this. It should be noted that the class counterpart will also get the same changes, aka Gunslinger or Sniper. You guys can just replace my words with the opposite side if that makes sense. Let's kick this off with Gunslinger and Sniper. There are some survivability changes coming to these classes. Defensive screen's cooldown has been reduced to 20 seconds. Its max duration reduced to 10 seconds, and now absorbs slightly more damage per cast. Hold position now causes dodge to give the Gunslinger or Sniper 100% chance to resist tech and force attacks for 3 seconds. For Sages and Sorcerers, these changes are to address the class's survivability, viability, along with some quality of life for telekinesis. Force Barrier now has an additional effect. While you are protected by Force Barrier, charges will build up and grant Enduring Bastion. Enduring Bastion is a shield that will absorb an amount of damage based off of the charges, like 1 to 4, that are present when Force Barrier ends. Enduring Bastion also grants immunity to interrupt and lasts for 5 seconds after Force Barrier ends. Mental Alacrity now makes the caster immune to pushback along with interrupts. Healing Trance is now immune to pushback. Psychic Projection now has a 50/100% chance to grant a Psychic Projection charge when using Disturbance on a target affected by your weakened mind. A Psychic Projection charge causes your next telekinesis throw to channel and twick twice as fast. Tidal Force now builds a charge whenever you deal damage with Disturbance, Turbulence, or Force Quake. At 2 charges, Telekinesis Wave cooldown is reset, and the next cast of Telekinesis Wave activates instantly and has no force cost. This effect can occur once every 10 seconds. Presence of Mind now builds up a charge whenever the Sage deals damage with Telekinesis Throw. At 3 charges, the next Disturbance or Mind Crush will cast instantly and deal 35% more damage. Moving on to Sentinels and Marauders. Smash now requires a primary target to activate. Secondary player targets are no longer affected by the additional damage granted by Decimate and Shockwave or the critical chance granted by Dominate. Secondary NPC targets are still affected by these. Operatives and Scoundrels. The goal with these changes were to tone down the inherent power of these classes as healers in PvP. Shield Probe now has its cooldown reduced to 20 seconds and its maximum duration to 10 seconds, and it now absorbs slightly more damage per cast. Exfiltrate has been redesigned. Using Exfiltrate will grant a charge that will allow it to be used again before the ability goes on a 10-second cooldown, allowing for 2 rolls in succession. Exfiltrate also no longer costs energy to use. Moving on to Jarring Strikes. This ability now grants a buff that makes Backstab not require position behind the target after using Hidden Strike. Jarring Strike now causes Hidden Strike to immobilize the target instead of knocking them down. And Surgical Precision can now only grant tactical advantage every 6 seconds. And finally, Guardians and Juggernauts. A little bit of this is going to be a repeat, so let's get into it. Smash no longer requires a primary target to activate. Secondary player targets are no longer affected by additional damage granted by Decimate and Shockwave or the critical chance granted by Dominate. Secondary NPC targets are still affected by Decimate, Shockwave, and Dominate. There are also some other changes coming, which includes a redesign of Enraged Defense and a change for Through Passion. Enraged Defense no longer costs Rage to activate and will hold a number of charges based on if the Juggernaut is above or below 50% in health. Each time the Juggernaut takes damage, a charge is expended to heal for 4% of its maximum life. Enrage's defense cooldown has been increased to 3 minutes, and Through Passion now reduces the cooldown of Enraged defense by 15/30 seconds. And if you would like to submit questions to me for future shows, whether it be on Star Wars The Old Republic or any other game, send questions to kidleeasf@gmail.com or leave a message below this video. And that will go ahead and do it for this week's episode of the TOR Report. So everybody keep playing and have fun.